Hello everyone, I have a good one for you today. Today is a Mercedes day. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. About a year ago I made a video regarding lean faults on Mercedes with m113k engines. This fault can appear on the natural aspirated engine or M112 engine, and I thought I solved the problem by replacing a coil because I was seeing that one of the cylinders had excessive kind of a delay, which eventually turned into a misfire intermittently. So coil fixed that for about a couple of months, and then at some point I started getting the same fault again, but I wasn't seeing that delay on that particular cylinder, and it will intermittently show up after I clean it after about a month or so of driving, or it will be gone for 2 months and then show up intermittently again. So for those of you who want to know what fixed the problem and want to spend $1,000 and don't want to wait until the end of this video, I will tell you right now, it was the throttle body. Now if you guys want to save a little bit of money and figure out how to fix this with a lot less money, stay to the end and I will try to explain what's going on and why is it going on. So the throttle bodies on our cars are exactly the same as the naturally aspirated car. Now the problem is that naturally aspirated throttle body comes like that. It just has this cover and it doesn't have the pigtail. This pigtail is available separate at FCP Euro for about $100, and the insulation that fits here on top of the throttle body is not available. You cannot buy that. Now here's what Mercedes did. They went through great lengths to glue this here to this throttle body to, I don't know what kind of glue or epoxy or what this is, but you have to chisel this thing out somehow if you want to take it out and reuse it. The purpose of this is to keep the throttle body from freezing or isolate from electrical noises and whatnot. These throttle bodies don't have water jacket like other regular throttle bodies. This is why coolant usually goes through the throttle body to keep it warm in order to prevent it from freezing in the winter time. So you will see all kinds of different part numbers imprinted on this insulation here. These part numbers are not the part number for the throttle body. These are catalog part numbers. That this is how Mercedes have their catalogs. There are several different part numbers for exact same throttle body across E-Class, CL Class, S-Class, depending on the year that the car is made, whether it's 2003 or 2005 or 2006, the last years. They're all the same. The part number, the different part number, is just the one that it's been printed here on the insulation. Now the correct part number for this throttle body is what you see here once the insulation is removed. And I'm gonna try to point it out here. Hopefully it will focus or not. It's not going to focus. Okay. So it's a Bosch part number, and the part number is 0280750 So behind this cover is this part number. It's a Bosch part number. It's a Bosch throttle body. It's not a Mercedes throttle body. This is Mercedes catalog part number. And actually the pigtail is made by Delphi. And it's smeared, but if you can read the part number off of here, there's a Mercedes part number off of here, and you can see these pigtails are available at FCP Euro. So what you need is to buy one of these throttle bodies in order to replace your throttle body. These throttle bodies last, I would say, 100 to 120,000 miles, and then you have to replace them. There is a eBay seller currently, as I'm making this video. He has 4 of these in stock. I think it's an old stock, and he is just trying to sell these out. I don't have connection to the guy, but this is the guy that I bought my throttle body from, and so far it's been several months, and I have no longer the pending fault. I purposely waited several months to make sure it's not going to pop out after a couple of months, and I don't have a solution for this problem, and I'm misguiding you guys. So throttle body is what fixed this problem, and if you put in this part number on eBay, I'm sure you will find this seller. The normal sell price for this throttle body is roughly between $300 to $400, and that's still better than buying an AMG throttle body, which is nothing more than just a pigtail and an insulation that comes with it. It's exact same throttle body as this. So essentially you're paying double the price of this throttle body for pigtail and an insulation. So the pigtail you can pick out by breaking the tabs that holding it in place, and it's not really that difficult, but it will come out. And when you get it out, even the tabs are no longer there to kind of lock it in place. You're gonna have to break the whatever it's around the pigtail. This piece right here, this piece that secures the cable in place, will prevent this from backing off and coming off. It's been like that on my car for months now. So on one of the throttle bodies, used throttle, now why I didn't say that this is the problem initially a year ago, because I already tried 2 different throttle bodies, used ones, and I had same condition, intermittently popping up this fault, and I completely excluded the throttle body from being the problem. But apparently all the used throttle bodies that I bought had the same issue as mine. And what the issue is, this throttle body is, as you know, these cars don't have mass airflow meter. So the mass airflow meter is integrated in the throttle body. If you remember, those of you who have been mechanics for a while, and if you guys remember cars from the 90s that had an old style mass airflow meter with a kind of like a moving flap that moves from the airflow that passes through the intake before the throttle body. So on top of that flap, there's a potentiometer. It's like a little slider that slides, and at different value, it reads different voltages. So essentially, tells the engine how much air. It converts that voltage to airflow reading, and essentially tells the engine how much air is coming in. So what they did here with this throttle body, the covers are not glued. Once you manage to take out the insulation somehow, on mine, the particular throttle body, one of the 3 throttle bodies that I bought, the one throttle body had only sealant around the connector, which was odd. It didn't have any sealant all around the throttle body. So of course, I think it's this one. It's actually the surrounding broke off, but I didn't care about this one because this one is obviously bad. And what they actually did here is replicated that style of mass airflow sensor, and this is how it reads how much air comes inside the engine, besides all the other sensors that are telling it boost or map sensor or whatnot. So throttle position sensor as well. So we have total of we have 4 different voltage values that can be monitored on the scanner with that comes out of this throttle body. Now when you're monitoring the voltage, make sure you have Mercedes compatible scanner, because some of the aftermarket scanners can give you a false reading. For instance, my launch scanner, which is pretty good for Mercedes and BMW, one of the sensors was reading 17 volts, which was, it can't. I mean, it's not possible. And the spec was like something like up to like 5. So as soon as I hook up Autologic scanner and then I hook up Mercedes original scanner, it showed correctly. But launch, this is the problem with some of the aftermarket scanners. They don't communicate well for certain things. They only go so far, and then you will get misinformation, and you're gonna start buying unnecessary parts because this is what the scanner shows. Essentially, you're getting wrong information. So what do we have here? Inside here we have these fingers, finger brushes here that are sliding on this scale, just like on the old style mass airflow meter, and they're showing different voltage at different throttle body position. Now the problem with the old style mass airflow sensors was that the spring will eventually lose its elasticity, if you want to show it, lose its spring rate, if you want to say it like that. And when that happens, it throws off the reading, and this was the main problem with this type of mass airflow sensor. At that point, you could change one tooth on the spring to make it either stiffer or weaker and kind of fine-tune the mass airflow readings, so you don't have to replace the mass airflow sensor. Now in our case, what's going on here is it's not like we're not getting readings, we're getting false readings. And I've opened and closed every throttle body that I bought, and they open and close fine, and they look like they're fine. The motor works. There's the motor is here, and then there's this big wheel that transfers movements to the throttle body, and behind here there is a spring, a return spring for the throttle body. So for whatever reason, whether the motor is failing, resisting, taking a little bit more power in order to operate compared to what the computer gives it and expects certain type of operation from this motor. Whether this spring got stiffer or inside here the shaft, where the shaft rides wore out, whatever is happening with this throttle, it's mechanically fully functional. It doesn't have a flat spot. It doesn't feel notchy or anything. It's fully functional. But if you compare this throttle body to the brand new throttle body that I purchased, the throttle blade opens, say, a touch easier. So essentially what's happening is this throttle body is throwing off the values and the computer is freaking out. This particular one was actually so bad, and like I said, it doesn't have a notchy feel to it or anything, but in winter time, once or twice it happened. When I first started the car, it was holding higher RPM, which never happened before. I had this car for over 3 years now. I don't even remember. But if you have this problem and you have checked all your for vacuum leaks, which there are not very many to check on the supercharged engine, you definitely need a throttle body. And honestly, for the $150 that this current eBay seller is asking, that's pocket change money for this car. So that's it. We have a solution for the problem finally. And like I said, it's been several months. No check engine lights, no weird high RPM, no nothing, no pending faults. Currently, the motor is running great. Meanwhile, in the process of elimination, just because I had access to relatively cheap or good priced parts, I changed the evap port solenoid valve. It's a kind of common failure on Mercedes, so I was questioning everything, and I figured my car has 160,000 miles, so why not at the price of $70? And that didn't fix anything. And I checked the air injection valves. Nothing really clogged or open. Those are very easy to check if you have one failing. I rarely see those failing, but should they fail, if you pull the two hoses that are right in front of the supercharger, if you pull those hoses out and if you see black inside, that means that they're not closing properly, but you mostly get incorrect airflow for air injection system if that is the case, where these valves don't close properly. But if you pull those hoses, if you see black inside, that means they're not closing well and exhaust is coming basically back into the air pump way. So that's it, guys. Leave a like, subscribe. I will make more videos that are interesting and help you guys solve a problem and not break the bank with trying to fix your cars. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.